Hi everybody, Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today, and I'm tying a Copper Liz version 1. I'll do another video with version 2. There are actually 3 versions, but the 2 and 3 are basically the same fly, so I'll do 1 and 2 in separate videos. So it's a fairly simple fly. It's designed for redfish, but it's very effective for other species. It's good for black bass. It screams like mangrove jacks and all that as well. Like, you know, you've got the wee muddler head and it always tracks through, push a wee bit of water. You can fish it up against the structure, it's snag free. Perfect. Now, as always, I'll put a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for anybody that wants to support the channel. Alternatively, you can like the video, share the video, comment, watch it all the way to the end. That all helps the channel to grow. So I've got my hook and my vise. This is a 1/0 Umpqua U401 and I've put a bendback in it, right? I've bent it just quarter inch, 2 eye lengths back for the eye. That's enough to get the muddler head in, no problem. Put a wee bit of lead on that. So I just put like 10 turns of O2O lead wire. So it's not that much, right? And I'm going to just sit it sort of below, as long as it's well below the line of the bend back, right? So that it's providing a keeling effect. But that's just to, it's not to make it really sink fast, it's just to counteract the effect of the deer hair head. I'm going to run on some danvels here, flat wax nylon. I'm just going to come over, take a long open wrap, put them up together, get that lead bunched up and covered. Come in, trim away my waist. I'm ready for my tail. My tail is fluorescent red calf tail. It's in, if you're interested, it's in Lefty Kreh's book, Saltwater Flies. It's on plate 7. Right. So in the original it just says red calf tail. I'm going for fluorescent red. I kind of think that if you're going to use a hot spot, you might as well use a fluorescent colour. And especially if you're tying a red fly, red's the first colour to disappear. Alright, this would be a shallow water presentation, but red's the first colour to fade out and turn grey, black. But if it's fluorescent, it will stay true to its colour. Length, I kind of like it just a bit of shank length. I think looks good in this. So that it can just be seen, but it's no sort of overpowering the wing. Right. You know, if you're pulling this away for the fish, you'll see this wee bit of red at the back, the hot spot. And I don't bother trying to get it all the way around, right? I've tied the whole bunch. It's in the gap side, right? So basically, if you think about a bend back, right, the drag is a factor, right? You know, if you ever find like your bend backs are not swimming properly and all that, it's probably the drag, right? You don't need to be adding loads of weight to make them keel. You maybe have too much fibre on one side, or if you've tied like a kind of hackly front, there might be too much drag, right, and that's impeding it. So I like to keep it in the gap, just keep everything working for you, right, if at all possible. I'm just going to sort of smooth this out a wee bit to about there. Doesn't need to be anything like perfect, so I've got to get covered up. I'm going to get my tan chenille. You could use woolly bugger chenille if you want a wee bit extra sparkle, that would actually be quite nice. Ice tub chenille, anything like that. And you don't need to be too stuck to the exact original pattern. So just stripped that, tied it in by the core, and before I wind it I'm going to get some head cement that's slightly thicker, and I'm just going to saturate that thread, right, because remember your chenille's absorbent, so this can all soak in and it'll make your fly much more durable. So get that in, make sure it's nice and square at the back. I don't want any thread showing. Get a first wrap on good, and then just work my way up. Don't want gaps. The chenille's a wee bit small, but it's what I've got in tan. Up to the front, catch it off. You'll maybe see, I can see there's a couple of bits that look a wee bit dark. It's just that cement soaking into the chenille. When it dries you'll know, you won't see it. So wing is a dense wing of brown marabou. You'll need maybe 2 feathers, it depends. If you've got a good one, sometimes you can take the tip and just double it up, but you really need to kind of judge by the individual feather. So now if you look at this is a blood quill, right? It's got quite long fibres on it, and at first glance it looks quite big, but there's a lot of rubbish, right? You need to take that away, right? That's no good to you, and that'll see what's actually usable. So I've not got enough there that I can double up the tip, but I will be pinching the very tip away, right? And I'll get myself another one. You just need to see, sometimes a feather's really good, and if you've got a kind of, I mean there's a really nice one I could have used, I could have doubled it up, but I'll find that another day. Sometimes you just got a really good feather. I'm just going to, this one looks okay as well, but we'll just take the tip out, we'll clean the rubbish. No, it's actually not that good. But you just have to accept, you know, the natural material. There we go. Quite often there's crap in there, right? You just need to accept the drop. I would say it's getting worse though. Used to be, I think, higher average quality on a lot of the natural materials that we were buying. Anyway, so I've nipped the tips out of both of these feathers, and I don't care if they're exactly even, right? Actually a wee bit of taper's maybe not a bad thing. Just got to kind of roll them together, see how they sit. Length, say you want your overall fly to be 1.5 to 2 inches. So I'm going to come back just slightly beyond the end of the tail, just pinch that in, pinch and loop, see how we're sitting. That's quite good. And because I've taken the tip out, right, although I'm tying stem, the stem only goes back a wee bit there, and the wings sort of free to move and flow. You don't have like a rudder effect of like a flat feather. It'll just bunch up, go where the water pushes it, and it'll move a lot. So I've trimmed that away. I'm going to tidy it up. I'm going to tie right back. Make sure I don't have any space, right? That's fine. Get my copper flashabou, or polar flash or something like that, and it should be quite a flashy fly this. And in Lefty's book it says 20 strands each side. So I'm just going to set that in on my side with the ends uneven. I'm going to take 2 or 3 wraps, right, and I'm tying towards the hook eye here, so there's a gap. I'll just show you that. There's a gap, right, so that when I tie back I can sort of spread these nice and broad across the side of the wing and kind of up on top, rather than having them all bunched together. So fold that over, again, take 2 or 3 wraps back. Now obviously because I've been sort of pulling on this one, it wants to sit close together, but you just flatten it with your finger and then ignore everything. Just come in with a loose wrap, tighten back towards yourself so that you're no, the thread taut's no forcing the material, and you can still at this stage, before you really take that final couple of turns, make sure it's spread, and then I'll just stagger the ends. I don't want any of the ends to be the same length, I want them all strung uneven, right, staggered across the back of that fly so they move independently and in the wing. So the last thing is a muddler head, basically. So before I start spinning here, I'll tidy this up, right, and you can absolutely spin here on a thread base, right. A lot of the old books and all that, and a lot of people say you can't, but you can. Right? It's no problem at all. Just put a wee bit of cement on that. Right, like that. That can soak in at the base of the head. I'm using this sort of nice chocolate brown. It blends in really nice with the colours. Just take the excess away, the cement, and then I've got a nice big clump for my first bunch. I like to do this in 2 if I can. Right, again, I know I put a wee bit of lead in to sort of counteract the head, but I don't want to put tons of hair in, right? Even though it's balanced with the lead, the fly's got to sink, right? So I'm not going to stack it or anything like that. I'm just going to I'm just using the Velcro to take the under fur out and any wee crappy hairs. You can spread it, you can flick it if you don't have the Velcro. And I'm not too fussed about these butt ends. And I'm going to set the length about halfway, right? I'm going to take the tips of the hair about halfway into the wing, right? And they're stopping short of the point of the hook, right? So 1, 2, 3, and just pull it, and it'll go, right? A couple of wraps as I walk my thread forward. And you can see that's spread really nice all around. I've got a nice wee collar, right? That's what you want. And it spun, right? It just went, because it's cleaned, the hair will just spin for you. So get my thread in front. And if you want it, you could put a wee bit of glue or cement there, but I'm going to show you when I trim it. I'm going to actually saturate that once it's finished to stop pass through at the front, so I don't think you really need to. Another bunch smaller this time because I've not got that much space, and I don't want to. Again, it's not a bass bug, it's just a wee water pushing head. It doesn't need to be super tight, it doesn't need to be really buoyant and waterproof, you know. Flick it, hit it with a comb. The Velcro's really good at taking the under fur away. Just because I don't need them We'll just pre-cut the tips away. See, there's just a wee bit under for there, so just come in, get it away. And then same again, offer it in. On that third turn, just put it tight, and the hair will just spin. Right, it just goes all the way around. Dead easy. If you need to, you can kind of manipulate it a wee bit. Right, but spinning hair, stacking hair is a bit more challenging, but spinning hair is dead easy. Right, you need to be confident, just go in and make it do what you want. So I'm just got to get my thread in front, and I can whip finish. You can use half hitches, you can use the whip finish tool, it doesn't matter. And then it's ready to trim. So, cut my thread. See where we are. Now the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to use my scissors. No, I don't like tying these, trimming these at the vise. I normally trim all my deer hair in hand over the bin, but so you can see it. I like to come in with a curved scissor, put my first cut in. I'm going to take everything away on the underside. Right, I don't want any collar or end. And I like to just come and do my rough cut with the scissors. Just got to sort of come round, getting that cone shape, just turning the fly, using the angle of the hook eye and the scissors to get a sort of general shape. And to be honest, it's up to you, like how bulky do you want it, right? So I'm just going to lift these off and slide my scissors down the tips. Sort of start setting where the end of the head is. Right, and it's kind of rough at the moment, but it's not a problem. I'd rather take several passes around it than try to rush it and ruin the shape, right? Now if you want to, you can come in with your razor blade. I look at it from the top, I can see that it's, the angles are slightly different. And then, I mean, how much are you worried about having a really nice, perfect head? You don't really need to be that worried, to be honest. As long as it's fairly even. So that the fly will track. I'm just going to run there. Now, I've got a wee bit of hair and fuzz in the eye. I'm just going to come in with my lighter. Just flick it, and don't worry if you sort of burn the hair a wee bit, you just... The heat actually will make it sort of spring up and go into a better shape sometimes. There we go. and then just got to come in again, just sort of tidy up that back edge. Right, you can switch between your scissors and your razor blade. Look at it for the top. If there's any cut ends, just come in and make sure they're gone. And that there is not bad at all. That will do it. I mean, look, you can, it's up to yourself, right? Maybe you want a smaller head. I'm just looking at that, I can see in the camera it looks like it's got a kind of bump there. I can't see that with my eye, but the camera's picking it up. There we go. I think it's just the colour change is stopping me seeing it. Is that like, that's better. I mean, I'll maybe trim it again later, but that gives you the general idea. Right, you've got a wee, it's not too big bulky head, it's just a sort of small muddler head coming into the tips there, coming into the wing. That's a couple that are just a wee bit too long. How fussy do you want to be? Now, as I was saying, right, the thing that, to stop pass through, which is what we really like, right, there's always pass through in a deer hair head, right, which doesn't matter on the surface, but if you're tying it, fishing it subsurface, it makes a difference. And as much as it reduces the amount of turbulence. So what I like to do is I just saturate the whole front of it. Right, you'll see guys doing this with liquid fusion on their Dalbergs and all that, and it's a great method. Just get that in there, right, and that will soak in. And you can just sort of, you can even sort of rub it back and push it into the hair a wee bit. And your, clean the eye, and your fly's done. Right, it's now got a massively increased the durability in the head there. I've got no collar or hair, right, all the drag, all the buoyancies on this side, which means it's got to always, despite the bulk, it will track. There's a wee bit of weight there to counterbalance the buoyancy in the hair. It's a great wee fly, this. I mean, you can tie it on weight if you want, but you should tie them, they're really, really good. So I hope that was useful, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to give me a thumbs up below, and I'll see you for another one. Tight lines, guys, bye.